name is Bishop Alexander, Director of Alumni Relations here at the University of North Alabama. I'm excited this is actually kicking off our alumni lunch break series for the month, actually for this fall semester. And so it's really an opportunity for us to connect with alumni from all walks of life around the nation. And so what better way to kick off this month's series with one of our very own alumnus, Matthew Daniels. He is one of our top alumni leaders who has returned back to the University of North Alabama to mentor the next generation. And so with that all being said, I will turn it over to you, Matt, to kind of introduce yourself and just tell us a little about you.
Yeah, Bishop, no, I'm honored to be a part of this and honored to be a part of the Line Alumni. I tell people all across the world that being an alumni of the University of North Alabama puts us in an elite status that nobody else can understand. So it's an honor to be here and do this. But like you said, I am Matt Daniels, serving here as the campus minister of the Baptist Campus Ministries, which is literally right across Wood Avenue from campus. Outside my window here to my left is, Wesleyan Hall and Willingham are right here. So it's fun to be here, and to hear any background noise, we got some students watching playoff baseball that's happening as we're recording this. So if they get a little excited, they're safely COVID wearing their mask and watching playoff baseball. So,
in case somebody asks.
That's right. That's right. We will throw that in there. But just a little bit about me. I am married to my wife, Morgan. We have a 1.5-year-old son, Luke. We have been back in the area since 2015. I did graduate from UNA in 2012 with a degree in sports management. And so that's where I came from as far as the university perspective. I was involved in the BCM as a student, as well as an athletic department manager for the basketball team there. And so had great opportunities and made great relationships that really kick-started what became my career path, and then the full circle to be able to come back. When I left, it was always in the back of my mind, man, if I could come back to this place, I would. My parents always laugh at me, but I got to the point where I was telling people I'm not from Dothan, Alabama anymore. I'm from Florence. I'm from UNA. It was actually a time there shortly after I graduated college. People were like, where are you from? I'm like, North Alabama. And they're like, what part? I'm like, oh yeah, so it just kind of became a thing. But from here I left, I went to Jacksonville University, got my grad degree there from Jacksonville University down in Florida, not JSU. Got to make that distinction, right? Roar Lions all the way.
Yes.
And so I was a grad assistant coach there, and then I went to South Alabama and worked with the women's basketball program with Terry Fowler, who was a women's basketball coach here for some time. And then I came back to the university and actually worked in the athletic department under the leadership of Mark Linder, Todd Vardaman, those guys there. Just had a great opportunity to run our home games and our facilities. And, like I said, coming back was always kind of a dream. And so when the opportunity presented itself, my wife and I took it. And we haven't regretted it one bit being back. And it just led to some things to where the doors came wide open now. And I felt the calling into full-time ministry and stepped into it. And now I'm on our beautiful campus every day with our incredible students, just hanging out with them, loving them, encouraging them, being around faculty and staff, our administration. Man, it's just a joy to be here every day. And, to be a place that has become home now is also the workplace. And it's just, man, I'm so excited to raise my son around this place and just be a part and be back here. So that's kind of the story in the short summary.
That's a very, very unique story in itself. And it kind of brings up the next question is, as you know, because I was a transfer student. And so like many students coming to UNA, especially if you're not from the shoals, you kind of expect to, okay, I'm gonna come here and get my degree and I'm gonna leave. Well, like you, as I got more involved, not only on campus, but also in the community, I realized, I would love to make this place home. But as you know, not everybody gets the opportunity to come back. So what is it about the campus, but also the community that you think changes a student's perspective before they graduate?
I think no matter what, where you're from here in the Shoals, it's a family environment. It's just, there's something about UNA and this community is it's like, that's the thing that connects us all. Right. And so we share that bond. We share that love for this place, that love for this area. And this area is so unique, right? I mean, every weekend there's almost something going on, whether it's sports related, music related, arts related, church related. There's so many things that you can always be doing here. And if nothing else is going on, just head to the river. There's something going on down there, right? And so I think it's just that, and that the people from the Shoals, right? Like I said, I grew up in Dothan, Alabama, which is on the complete opposite corner of the state from where we are. Mm-hmm. I didn't even find UNA until February of my senior year of high school, and it just clicked. It just made sense. And came in as a freshman in 2008, not knowing this place. I knew like 4 people here and they were all involved with the basketball program. But as I met people, everybody just welcomed me. They welcomed any friends that I made. All of the churches here were so loving, and just, the churches wrapped their arms around college students. And for me, that was something that was very important for me, that I wanted to find. And so I just found a place here to just, plant roots, to make relationships. The athletic department welcomed me in. Like I said, Mark Linder, Todd Barterman, I created relationships with those guys as students. As a student, that was not only like a mentorship type role, but like I felt like those guys were kind of my friends too, in a weird way, and so I got to create those relationships that in turn paid off in the long run for me to come back here.
So when it comes to relationships, as you mentioned, like being a former student athlete, I myself, I ran track, even though some people feel like that's not really.
It is.
But I've noticed just among athletes, they have that sense of building relationships. And so with you coming back, do you feel like the campus, what were your thoughts when you returned back to the campus climate of today versus then? Do you feel like it's the same environment, or do you feel like it's, as we, of course, student population has gotten bigger. We went from having 4,000 to now having 8,000 students currently. So in a way, you and your wife, moving back, just at a perfect timing. And then, of course, COVID-19 hits. Kind of how is that all kind of explain it to us? Yeah.
Well, I think coming back, I was immediately jealous of the current students that they had Chick-fil-A, they had Starbucks. They don't understand what some of us went through here, I was like, look, they're living the good life here. They got these fancy dorms, like there's a science building. I used to live in the apartments where the science building are now. That's where I live. The brick.
Yes,
right? And so I got the opportunity to live, and I'm like, man, my apartment's gone. Like I was telling students, like there used to be apartments here, and they're like, what? There were apartments? I'm like, y'all have no idea what UNA's been like. But I think that was the exciting thing, to come back and see how things had grown. And not just the numbers had grown, right? But the administration had done a good job of growing campus and growing opportunities for these students. When I got my sports management degree, it was just a few of us. It had just started when I got it. And then come back and find out that they've got internships lined up with the Titans and all these other universities. I just think that was so cool to see the university progress in that way, to see the students get more and more opportunities, and the university just continue to grow. And even regionally, right? Like I said, I was from Dothan. I didn't know about UNA. And then now I don't think that's the case. I think we're starting to be known statewide, regionally wide. And I think that's the fun thing to see and watch, and the exciting part of being around this university. And like you said, being in the athletics, I was not good enough to be that athlete. I was good enough to be the guy to wash the athletes' clothes, which was fun, but it does teach us how to build relationships, and the beauty of teamwork, the beauty of chemistry, the beauty of realizing that you can't do this on your own. You need people around you. You've got to surround yourself with an army of people that will challenge you, right? You don't want just a bunch of people in your corner who you're your yes man, right? That always tell you you're right, that always tell you yes.
Yes.
You want people in your corner that are willing to challenge you. They're going to, question your thoughts, but they're going to challenge you to improve, right? You need somebody in your corner that's better than you, that's smarter than you, that's ahead of you, right? You always need people like that. Yes, you need the people in your corner who are patting you on the back, and, they love you no matter what. And, they're all for you, but you need all of that. And I think UNA provides the opportunity for that. It's such a diverse group of people, a diverse group of ages. And so you learn that unique thing that, when I got into the career field, I felt ready when I left here. And the same thing when I came back, even though the athletics gave me a job that I didn't necessarily deserve, but they trusted me. And because we had those relationships and that trust was there, they gave me a shot. And I'm thankful for that. And same thing here in this role as campus minister. I'm just now starting seminary. I don't have all the credentials to be sitting in this chair, but some relationships that I had formed, and then just loving this campus, it was just kind of a no-brainer for both my side and the side of the State Board of Admissions to put us in this role. And so here we go, right? And like you said, last year, I just started last June. So last year was my first year. And then all of a sudden here comes COVID, and it hits, and kids are quarantined, and we're trying to figure out what ministry looks like. And I think what I saw the biggest and learned was the importance of knowing your priorities, right? Keeping those in line, having a flexible spirit and a flexible attitude, understanding we know we're not promised tomorrow, but I think we take that for granted of how beautiful and how important today is. And so I think it kind of gave me and our students a renewed sense of urgency just for today, to make the most of today. And let's do what we can today to better ourselves, to better our country, to better the people around us, and so that's just kind of what we've been doing and learning, and what I think I've seen from the university too. I tell people all the time, and since I've got the platform, I'll say this. I think you guys in our administration at campus have done a tremendous job navigating this COVID crisis. And for campus to be open and buzzing and our students loving being here in spite of everything going on is a testament to you, to President Kitts, to his council, to the task force. I mean, it's still a great time to be at UNA, and our students are loving being here. And we still have that same culture and community feel, even though we got to be socially distant, wear a mask. You got to go in certain doors and out a different door. All of those things may be true, but man, it's still just the warm, welcoming, exciting, but challenging time in a good way, that good challenge, right, of being at UNA. And I think that's what any alum that cherished their time here would always say. I was challenged, I was loved, and I was prepared. And that is still continuing, even though there may be new buildings and mows everywhere.
And speaking of, because I mean, I agree, a lot has changed. But it kind of goes back to when you mentioned like building relationships, kind of like when you mentioned also preparation. So kind of maybe lead us down that road of, you got here last June, and then now a year later, you're putting this middle of this global pandemic. And as a leader, how, kind of maybe speak to alumni who are maybe serving similar roles, whether they're teachers, anything that deals with dealing with people on a daily basis. Like how has COVID-19 impacted you as a campus minister, but then also how have you been using that to kind of help the students help through that? So basically for alumni who serve in similar positions, how can they, if they're challenged right now, saying, well, Bishop and Matt, how do I reach out to them? I'm having trouble reaching out to my class, or I'm having trouble reaching out to my clients. Like, how do I do that in the midst of all this? Like, what would you say?
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start with this question. I think one, you have to know your people. You have to know what's going to reach your people, right? So for me, with college students, man, they're inundated with Instagram, right? That's where they are. That's where they're going. That's where they're spending their time. So we used our UNA BCM account constantly through the summer, through the quarantine, with devotions, with updates, with teases of what's to come when you get back on campus. And then now it's just constantly just updating people on what we got going on. And then we've got a couple pictures so you can see faces of our people. But what happened is for me, what I have found to be successful here with students and reaching students is empowering those students that are in a leadership role to just be that, to just go be the leaders. Because the peers, right, their student peers are going to listen to them before they listen to me, before they listen to you, before they listen to their professors. They're just going to listen to each other. It's just a natural thing. And I think that's any boss or alumni leader that's listening to this, man, empower your people. Empower the people that are maybe just under you, right, in the title realm. We know that we're all on the same team and the same playing field, but the leaders have to make important decisions, right? Man, empower those people to take ownership, to take some responsibility. So that's what I've done, man. I've discipled our leadership group. I've equipped them not only with scripture, that's important for us, but just with leadership things and just saying, hey, here's your branch of the ministry, right? Hey, young man, you take our Greek life ministry and you go. And you just let me know what you need. Hey, you take our international ministry and go reach our international students. And like last night, we had a completely student-ran international game night where they brought international students over to our building. We played some socially distanced game. We fed them a meal. It was all I did was hand them the credit card. Hey, here's the credit card. Here's your budget. Don't go over the budget, right? And the kid came back $40 under budget. Like, good for him, right? I mean, and so that's what I'm seeing is that now, just like I talked about, I realized of a sense of urgency in my own life for taking advantage of today. The students have realized how precious today is too. And they want to be on campus. They want to be here and serve their campus. And so, man, I'm just riding that momentum. I'm not getting in the way, right? It's kind of that leading from behind kind of thing. We're going to push them. We're going to encourage them. When I need to step in front, I will, right? But if I can do it from behind and let the students be the face of this ministry, let the students be the face of this, and that's what we've seen success. And we see new students at almost every activity that we have. We're meeting new students. We had a worship service Monday night. I met 10 brand new students, and we're 5.5 weeks into school. That doesn't typically happen, right? And so I think that's the biggest thing. But I also think to encourage the leaders that are listening to this, one thing that I've found, it's so easy to get bogged down in trying to be viral disease specialist and social justice this, and let me pay attention to the Supreme Court, and let me pay attention to the election. And all of a sudden we get bogged down and we get heavy trying to process all this information. And I think what I try to remind myself of is we've got to do what we need to do to refuel ourselves, to give ourselves the energy we need for today, right? Take care of self. Yes, pay attention to all that, know what's going on, but I can't affect change in California or Idaho or even Georgia, right? Where I can affect change in life is right here on this campus where I'm at. If I can use this opportunity and this platform to affect the people around me for the truth, for love, for hope, then that'll spread because they'll take it to their circles, right? So leaders, we don't have to take on the burden of fixing everything and everyone. Let's just be the best leader in the place that we've been put. And then from there, it'll take care of itself because we're going to protect our people from, if we know that we got to require masks, then we'll require masks. We want to protect our people as leaders. That's not the problem, but it's just with everything changing, man, let's just focus on today. Let's go all in on today for what matters to us, for what's our foundation, right? For me, that's my faith. And so I just stand on that. I try to, preach that, talk that, walk that, and just live that out. And I think too, when we know what our identity is and where we stand, it just kind of all makes sense, even when it seems chaotic around us.
And I love what you said when you mentioned about, being the best leaders right where we are, is because as you know, it's easy to get caught up in everything that's going on beyond our control. It's having to, in my opinion, having to accept that, like you said, there's nothing I can do in California. That's right. What I can do is right here. And so I love the philosophy because, self-care, as you know, I had a call earlier with an alum who's a nutritionist, and she said, her concerns for her patients, she said, even in the midst of COVID-19, she said, I told my staff that our main concern is, for one, our patients, but also each other. She said, I really couldn't focus on what was going on in the news and what was going on here. She said, all I could really be control over was my own area. Right. And I kind of walked away with an aha moment thinking, you're right. Because like you said, we can stress ourselves out worrying about things that don't even really, it will impact us. But at the end of the day, really focusing on what really matters.
What really matters, right? Because I didn't sign up to be a campus minister to be all these other things. I signed up to be a campus minister because I love the Lord and I love college students and I love UNA. And so it was just the perfect place for me to do all three of those things. And so I just try to remind myself, right, every day, hey, for me, right, let's do it for Jesus Christ. I want to honor my wife and being the best husband for her. I want to honor my son, being the best father for him. And then I just want to be a source of life, of hope, of joy, of tacos, of whatever I got to be for these college students. I just want to be that. We've got this building here. Like I said, they're here hanging out. If that's what you need a place to study, a place to relax, a place to worship, a place to ask questions. I met with a student just a couple of days ago who believes completely opposite like I do. And we sat in a room for 90 minutes and we just asked each other questions. Man, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Man, here's how I think about this. What do you think? Just ping pong ball. And we learn from each other, right? And I think that's the beautiful thing of being on a college campus is these students are seeking answers to a lot of questions. And so now what a beautiful way to kind of return the favor that UNA gave to me than to turn around and lock arms with the university and let's raise up the next generation of alumni leaders.
Look, that's perfect. To kind of add on to that, because I don't want to take away from when you mentioned alumni leaders, for those alumni who might have been BCM alumni, I want to definitely give you the opportunity maybe to reach out to them. Is there anything that, that they could do to maybe to help you? I want to give you that opportunity because at the back of my head, I was thinking, I definitely want us to connect to BCM alumni as well.
For sure. Yeah. To any BCM alumni out there, you'll understand what I'm about to say, but we just need your prayers. We need your prayers for that students continue to be safe and protected and that they continue to make the right choices. So far, I'm seeing that across our students. You got a few bad apples, but these students are following the guidelines. They're doing because they want to be on campus, right? So that's the biggest thing. To any BCM alum or any alum out there, really, feel free to stop by. We'll show you. We've updated the building some. We'll show you around. We'll catch you up to speed on what's going on. With the mask mandate, obviously bring your mask, but we'll show you around and we'll let you do that and just connect with us on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at UNABCM. Okay. We're on Facebook. which is UNA Baptist Campus Ministries. That's our Facebook page. So connect with us there. That's where we're going to have a lot of information. And pretty soon to come, probably about the same time that they're watching this video, we'll be doing a t-shirt/sweatshirt sale. And that's to simply raise money for mission trips for our students in summer of 2021 to go primarily all over North America, but there'll be some international opportunities depending on how all this pandemic stuff shakes out. But we definitely got some North American opportunities for our students to go on their own. And what that money will do is help reduce their cost of their trip. And they'll get to go and do missions all over our great country. And so I'm excited for that. So that's kind of the easiest couple ways just to plug in with us right now. Other than that, if they want more information, they can call me. They can reach out to us on social media, and I'd be happy to get our alum plugged in. I've actually got 2 alumni speaking on October the 5th at our worship service. One's a nurse, one's a police officer, and they're going to come and talk to our students about how to be missional in a secular work setting, right? Which is, for me, more of our students are going to launch into a secular career than a full-time ministry career, right? And so if I can surround them with people that have been in their shoes, that are now working somewhere that they may want to work, and let them hear how they can use their workplace for more than just a place to make money, right? Because there's never enough money in the world to satisfy you. So if we can use it for more than that, then that's what I want to do. So we're going to do that October the 5th, and I'm excited about that. So there's definitely opportunities for alumni to plug in.
Thank you. Well, I will, first and foremost, definitely want to say you've done a tremendous job with BCM. I knew because from the minute you took over, I know personally I saw a difference. And now when I pass it, I was like, I have to see what's going on with the BCM, like just from the outside looking in, like even just the structure, like you can just tell there's an energy that I remember that I saw when I was in college. Was you knew who was in BCM, but those students were always active, but they were always out, just being great examples across campus. And so kudos to you and your leadership team on just doing an outstanding job, but also helping the students get through this pandemic. But then, and so I know we're kind of pushed for time, but I wanted to kind of say, is there anything that maybe you want to just speak from the heart? Any last minute you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, sure. I know our audience is primarily going to be alumni leaders. I just want to encourage them when you're talking about getting people through this pandemic and everything going on in our world, be a listening ear for your people. Be someone that they can talk to, that they can listen, that they know you'll just listen. You may not have all the answers, right? I mean, I had a student ask me a question a couple of weeks ago, and I told him, I said, brother, I'm going to have to study that and get back to you because I don't know the answer. People have a lot of heavy questions, and they need us as leaders to be there for them, to not just teach them, but to listen and to empathize with them. And I think that's so important. And that's what I'm seeing with our students. And I'm so thankful to have the opportunity with that. But I just want to encourage folks too, I know you watch the news and you see constantly bad rap on college students. Just trust me on this. Our college students are ahead of us. And these kids are smart. They are well educated. But they're great kids, and they're wanting to learn. They're wanting to grow. They're wanting to be better people. They're wanting to make everything better as they touch it, as they come through it. And so if you can find a way to support the university, support a college student in any way, do it. You will not regret it. These college students are awesome. It's a joy to be around them. And man, it's just so much fun. And so for any alumni out there, man, just remember you're part of an elite status being an alum of UNA. And so use that, enjoy that, and just know that our university is going the right way. And it's just so much, fun to be here and to be around this place. And so it's good. And so I just hope this encourages, if anybody listening to this ever needs me, I'm here for you guys. I tell people all the time I love them. So I love all of you listening to this with the love of the Lord. And I'm just here to help in any way that I can, not only our students, but our community.
And that is why you are the BCM minister. Well, with that being said, just for all of our viewers, our alumni, faculty, staff, friends that are watching this, please continue to pray. Just keep Matt and his whole entire leadership team at BCM in your prayers. Keep all of our students in your prayers. Yeah, and as he said, we will provide, after this interview, on the video, you'll see all the ways that you can contact him directly to reach out to him. And so at the end of the day, it's all about alumni helping alumni. So if you are a BCM alumni, please reach out to Matt and just show him your love, work with him to, be able to inspire the next generation of leaders because he is doing great things on this campus. And so that's why we are excited to be able to highlight one of our premier leaders who is making a difference daily in the midst of it all. I took away some great things that I can really apply to my own life as a professional. Self-care, something that we all need. And so wherever you are, just know you are loved. As an alumni base, we care for you. And we hopefully will see you on campus in the near future when things are safe. But until then, we hope that you will be continue just to follow all the CDC regulations. And as Matt said, you just kind of, be there for each other. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together.
That's right.